Did you know there's a 600-year-old book written in a language nobody has ever understood? Not even the world's best cryptographers, scientists, or AI. This is the story of the Voynich Manuscript, the most mysterious book in history, filled with bizarre plants that don't exist, naked figures bathing in strange pools, and an alphabet no one can read. For centuries, it has defied every attempt to unlock its secrets. Today, we dive into the enigma that has baffled humanity for half a millennium. In 1912, a rare book dealer named Wilfrid Voynich stumbled upon a volume unlike anything he had ever seen before. Hidden in a trunk inside an Italian villa belonging to Jesuit priests, this strange manuscript was unlike the other treasures of antiquity he usually discovered. Its parchment pages were filled with colorful illustrations of unknown plants, mysterious astronomical diagrams, naked women bathing in what appeared to be strange, interconnected pools, and lines upon lines of text written in a language that no human being could recognize. Voynich immediately knew he had found something special, a relic that seemed to come from another world. This book would later be named after him, the Voynich Manuscript, and it has since become the single greatest mystery in the history of written language. What makes the Voynich Manuscript so strange is not only that it is undeciphered, but that every single element within it seems to defy explanation. The script is composed of strange looping letters and symbols, written from left to right like European languages, yet following none of their grammatical rules. The plants painted in its pages are a combination of familiar features, leaves, stems, roots, flowers, yet none of them match any known species. The astronomical charts contain suns, moons, and star-like figures, but arranged in patterns that make no sense according to medieval or modern astronomy. Even the sections depicting women appear to show them bathing in tubes and channels filled with greenish liquid, as if the manuscript is describing some form of biology or medicine completely alien to us. For centuries, this book has resisted every attempt to be understood. Carbon dating has shown that the parchment used to create the Voynich manuscript dates back to the early 15th century, around the year 1404 to 1438. This makes it over 600 years old. Yet despite existing for so long, there are no references to it in any medieval catalogues, no mentions in royal libraries, and no known author. Whoever wrote it, painted it, and bound it together has remained completely anonymous. The mystery only deepens when one considers how much effort must have gone into its creation. The manuscript contains over 240 pages, each filled with carefully written text and elaborate illustrations. Whoever made it had both the resources and the dedication to produce a manuscript of incredible detail, but left no clue as to why. Throughout history, some of the greatest minds have tried to decode this strange book. During World War II, British and American codebreakers who had cracked Nazi ciphers and Japanese war codes were given photographs of the manuscript. If anyone could break its code, surely they could. Yet after months of study, they admitted defeat. The Voynich manuscript was unlike any code or language they had ever seen. Linguists have tried statistical analysis on its words, discovering that the script appears to follow linguistic rules. Certain symbols appear more often than others, words have predictable structures, and there seems to be grammar, yet none of it matches any human language on record. It is as if the book was written in a language spoken by a lost civilization, or perhaps something entirely fabricated. One of the strangest things about the manuscript is how familiar and unfamiliar it seems at the same time. The pages are clearly divided into sections. One appears botanical, filled with plants. Another seems astronomical, filled with zodiac-like wheels and star charts. Another seems biological, filled with images of women. Yet when you try to actually understand what's being shown, nothing makes sense. The plants are hybrids that combine features of several species into impossible forms. The astronomical diagrams sometimes include the familiar signs of the zodiac, like Pisces or Sagittarius, but drawn in bizarre ways. The women bathing seem to be connected by tubes, as if describing some strange cycle of health, medicine, or even reproduction. It feels almost like the book is trying to explain a worldview or a science that is completely alien to our own. So who wrote the Voynich Manuscript? There are countless theories. Some believe it was created by a medieval alchemist who wanted to hide his knowledge from the church. Others claim it was the work of a secret society preserving lost wisdom from the ancient world. A popular theory is that it was written by Roger Bacon, a 13th century English philosopher who experimented with early science, though there is no direct evidence to support this. Others say it might have been created by Leonardo da Vinci in his youth, though the dates don't quite align. A more modern suggestion is that it was the work of a skilled forger in the 16th or 17th century, designed to fool collectors into paying large sums for a mysterious ancient text. Yet the amount of effort and detail seems far too great for such a hoax. And then there is the most outlandish theory of all, that the Voynich Manuscript was not written on Earth at all, but is instead an artifact of extraterrestrial origin, a book brought to our world by beings from beyond the stars. In recent years, artificial intelligence has also been turned loose on the manuscript. Machine learning algorithms have scanned the text to look for patterns, attempting to compare it to known languages. Some researchers claim to find similarities to Hebrew, while others thought it resembled an extinct form of Turkish. But none of these claims have held up under peer review. Each time someone believes they are close to cracking the code, the text slips away like water through their fingers. The mystery remains unsolved. What is perhaps most haunting is the possibility that the book does in fact make sense. That someone, somewhere, perhaps centuries ago, could have opened it and read it, like you are listening to this right now. Imagine if within those pages lies the lost medical knowledge of a forgotten civilization, or a secret map to plants that once grew on Earth but are now extinct. Imagine if it is a coded guide to alchemy, or even instructions for technologies we cannot yet comprehend. To open the Voynich Manuscript is to stare into the mind of someone who clearly believed what they were writing mattered deeply. And yet, across 6 centuries, we cannot understand a single word of it. Even the manuscript's journey through history is shrouded in mystery. After Voynich acquired it in 1912, he tried to sell it to collectors and institutions, presenting it as the book that no man could read. But no one was able to solve it in his lifetime. After his death, the manuscript changed hands several times before finally being donated to Yale University's Benecker Rare Book and Manuscript Library, where it remains to this day, carefully preserved and digitized for the world to see. Anyone can now flip through its pages online, zooming in on the bizarre illustrations and looping letters. Yet, despite thousands of scholars and amateurs examining it, we remain as clueless as Voynich himself when he first opened that trunk in Italy more than a century ago. There is a deep, unsettling beauty to the Voynich Manuscript. It is proof that mystery can survive even in an age of technology, when almost everything seems explainable. It stands as a reminder that human knowledge is not complete, that there are still secrets waiting to be uncovered. Every time we think we are close to solving it, the manuscript resists, as if mocking us. It may be that we will never know what it says, that it will forever remain a puzzle without a solution. But perhaps that is why it continues to captivate us. In a world full of answers, the Voynich Manuscript remains the ultimate question. So the next time you hear about great mysteries, the pyramids, Stonehenge, lost civilizations, Remember that one of the greatest enigmas of all sits quietly in a library in New Haven, Connecticut, waiting for someone bold enough, clever enough, or perhaps just lucky enough to break its code. Until then, the Voynich Manuscript remains the book nobody can read. And if you want to keep exploring history's strangest mysteries, subscribe to this channel, share this video, and join us on Quest Revealers, where the past hides secrets and we bring them to light.